Hey everybody, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to have some fun today and we're going to make a light up card. So if you know anything about my channel, you know that I have one light up card in an inventory of hundreds because I just don't do it. It's always been just way too complicated for me. But Pear Blossom Press has this new awesome power pack, and so I'm going to show you all about that later on in the video. But first, we're going to make the elements of our card. So right here, you have these cute little boy hands. He's in here trying to help me smush my background. He had a good time, except he doesn't like to get inky or paint on his hands. He's just that way. So he didn't last very long. Obviously, you can see there's no more little boy hands in the screen. He took off. So, but he tried. So that was a good thing. I'm going to get the three colors I used down here, and I used Tumbled Glass, Salty Ocean, and Blueprint Sketch. I feel like that kind of covers the light, medium, dark hues. And then Adie is going to come in, and she's going to put the ink pads all over the place. This is not really crafted recommended. However, it worked, and she's doing her own thing, and I can't fault her for that. And so we go back in and we get some more color up on there. The only thing was when I was telling her on the video, I said, just when you do that, you want to be careful because you're not going to have much space to put the other colors. So you're going to cross-contaminate, right? I'm getting good. I have to be mentally prepared with kids in the craft room. So we did good. We had fun. And then, of course, I picked up some of that extra ink. I felt like the background needed a little bit more splatter happening. So she went in and she kind of placed it down and picked up some of that splatter, and I thought she did a beautiful job. I really did. And then in this one, she kind of went in and smushed, and that gave even a more different look. So yeah, both came out really nice, and I really couldn't choose which one I liked better because it would depend on the mood and the card. For the card we're making today, I chose the right one, the darker colors. So here I've pulled out a Lawn Fawn Hillside Border die, and you could flip up your die upside down so you don't get the stitching on it if you like, and that's what I did. And here I'm just kind of trying to figure out which one is going to work best for my card. So I choose the darker one, and then I'm going to start picking out my elements of my card. You see my Lawn Fawn set right there. This is the beach set. I'll have what it's listed, or what it's called. But it's yellow. It's stained yellow. And I don't know why that happens, nor do I care. Because when I stamped them out in Memento Tuxedo black ink on my Nina 80-pound solar white cardstock, you could never tell that the stamps themselves are yellow. So, yeah, it doesn't bother me. I don't know why they're yellow, and I have a couple of those sets that turned yellow because they're just random. Like 2 or 3 sets are that color. So if you know why that is, and you're some sort of a chemist genius, or maybe just an average person who has common knowledge, please feel free to let me know. That'd be awesome. All right, so here on the coloring, you will notice that there may be some new marker caps to the left that you've never seen before on my channel. That is because I am using different alcohol markers. I am going to do a video, it's in the works right now, coming soon, of more money-saving techniques, more money-saving supplies, I should say, of crafting stuff. So on that list, I'll let you know what's on the list. What did I say? Oh, a bunch of you have asked me to do a comparison of cardstocks to find cheaper versions, and to be honest with you, I didn't want to take on that as a solo endeavor because there are so many cardstocks out there. But what I did want to focus on was card bases, because I buy the really expensive, well, I'm going to get into the video here if I keep chatting. Okay, card bases. We'll just go into that. Card bases, alcohol marker options, alcohol ink options, and what's the other? Oh, the more poster board tryouts for alcohol inks. So we are going to be using not just the Dollar Tree, if you watch that video, but we're going to be trying some stuff I got from Amazon because I wanted to make it more friendly for other people to find it out in the world. And not everybody has a Dollar Tree or a dollar store next to them, so we're going to be doing that. So those are some of the topics and then some other things. That video will be coming soon, but back to my point is that I got these Ohuhu markers from Amazon, and I got an 80 set for $40. And so I am coloring up with them. I'm testing them out and seeing how I like them. And yeah, so that's why they're there. And so we'll talk about those in that video. But spoiler alert, I love them and they work great. And this is not in that video. When I delve more into the alcohol options, I'm going to actually color an image with 4 different brands of alcohol markers. Copic is not anywhere in the mix. So I'm just not even going to make the comparison of Copic. So I'm going to show you other options. That's the point of that part of the video. So, yeah. So anyway, love them. I think they're great. They're a lot of fun to play with, especially when my images aren't so big. I like these little define point for some of those little areas. It makes it just really simple to color. So right now today is AJ's birthday, even though when this posts it will not be. I'll tell you, my son is now 6 years old. I cannot believe where the time went. Is anyone else in some sort of a time warp in their life? Because he is 6. My daughter will be 10 in August. I just had them yesterday. And yeah, it's just crazy. But they're so much fun. And AJ just could not wait for his birthday. It was like his day. He comes into, I'm getting ready for work this morning, and he comes in his big boy underpants, and he's like, Mommy, today is my birthday, and I get to wear whatever I want. And so at this point, I'm thinking, good gracious, is he going to want to go to school in his underpants? And he says, since I can wear whatever I want, I'm going to start with these Optimus Prime underpants. He's pointing to them. And I'm like, yes, you go wear your Optimus Prime underpants. Under some clothes, please. Put some clothes on. So, yeah, it was just funny. He's just so funny. I don't know. His sense of humor, my goodness, this kid is going to keep me just rolling. But he has some definite wins in there. The other day, he said to me, we were talking about bullying, and I said, so what would you do if you got bullied? Because we've had many conversations about not being the bully, but I said, what would you do if you got bullied? And he said to me, I kind of led him into the first part of I said, well, would you stand up for yourself? Yes, I would stand up for myself, and then I would do something nice for him so he can see what kindness is. And he was so matter-of-fact about it. And I'm just thinking, that's next level, level up, kid. You earned it. It's just so great. I was so proud of that. So yeah, anyway, he's a funny kid, and he's always making me laugh. And so happy birthday, AJ. Can't believe he's 6 years old already. And then Adia is fighting some kind of bug. I don't even know what's happening. I will not get into the details because I do not come on YouTube to make anyone else come to an unhappy place. But I will tell you this. Those kids leave that toilet seat up in a normal fashion every single day of their life, except for the night when she got sick. That's all I'm going to say. That's it. It was quite an event. The next day she was fine. And then, after that, she seemed to be kind of iffy. And then this morning she went to school and she had, was dizzy and had a tummy ache again. So I don't know if there's a bug going around, but I sure hope I don't get it. So far, so good. But poor thing. So nursing her and getting her back to health. But other than that, everything's peachy. Spring has sprung. I'm enjoying the cherry blossoms down in DC. I get to see them every day. So that's been a whole lot of fun. I don't feel like they're fully bloomed yet, but okay, so on this part, I went in and took some darker brown and just dotted it to make it look like sand. So that's all that technique was that you saw me do there. I cut them out with my die cutting machine because this is probably one of like 2 sets that I have coordinating dies. So that made it super easy. I usually fussy cut everything. And I get those ready to go. I'm really happy with the way that the coloring came out. It's nice and bright and summery, and we're getting in a summer mood here because that's what this card is all about. So I took out another old stamp that I have. It's called Gorgeous Grunge, I want to call it, from Stampin' Up. One of my favorite background-ish stamps because it comes with 4 different kind of backgrounds stamps that you can do. And I think that's good enough, but of course I couldn't stop, and then I pressed too hard right there, and I got a splotch, and you know what? We're just going to go with it, because sometimes sand is just that way in real life. Yes. All right, so here's the star of the show, Pear Blossom Press Power Pack Kit. You get 3 lights in this kit, you get the copper wire, and then you get 3 battery packs. So they do sell different sets too. They sell 1 battery pack and 1 light. You can get it all separate, or you can buy this 3-pack. And it's just it's so great. All right. Now I will tell you what I decided to do here with my lighthouse is I'm going to punch a hole in the top. Because I used watercolor cardstock, I did not want my light to get lost underneath that thick, heavy cardstock. So we're going to make the light shine through. So I do that by cutting a hole in it, punching a hole in it, and I had to do it twice because for some reason my punch was acting squirrely. So I got that done. The next thing I'm going to do is take a piece of vellum, and I'm just going to cut it small enough to cover right over that hole, all right? Because the vellum is going to block the super brightness, or not necessarily the light, but if you see the yellow portion of the light. So I just wanted to kind of keep it just subdued enough. I would recommend drawing on your paper through the hole before you put the vellum on, and you'll see here that in just a second. So the next thing we're going to do right here is I'm going to try to figure out where I want my hole for the watercolor cardstock now. So that's what I mean, kind of go through your lighthouse. You can draw right on there, but I already put the vellum on. Going to go, turn the card around, take my punch my hole. Okay, so now I have a place where my light is going to shine through. Now I have a white piece of cardstock underneath there, and I'm going to draw my hole. So now I know where to put my light. So it's a step-by-step process for that. Very simple. Okay, so now what you want to do on the back of the pack that you get here, you can see it on the right-hand side, you're going to get instructions, very clear instructions, and you're going to get a diagram. The operator error, made the mistake on the diagram. And so you want to put the copper tape over the plus and the minus, not on the paper underneath it. And so you're going to see that I'm going to show you my struggle because I'm not going to, sugarcoat. I have a problem with electronics that has nothing to do with this amazing set. She has made this so easy for us to do light up cards, really, truly. Because that whole building a home for my battery pack, I'm not about that life. And in fact, that is why I refused to do Chibitronics, because it was too much work. But this, all the battery pack, everything, the press button, it's all right there for you. So it's very easy. But unfortunately, I am inept when it comes to anything and all things electronic. So yeah. And honestly, I really feel like that's the beauty of YouTube. Is you go and you watch people kind of figure out things like that, do that for me so that when I sit down at my desk, I don't have to think about it, right? That's the joy of it. So you're welcome. Okay, so then I'm going to make my second pathway. And like I said, positive to positive, negative to negative. And you're just going to, I'm cutting up the copper and I'm just going to draw it or lay it down over and up. Very easy. Now that I've done this once, this is like the simplest thing. Truly, it really is easy. And I really love it because I just have been I shied away from light up cards for so long. So anyway, so I get that down, and I'm going to make sure that behind my one little light, so this is where I peel off the one, because I've been holding the 3 lights, but I'm actually going to peel off the 1 light soon and put that down. But you want to make sure that on the little light, there is the positive and negative sides. So you want to just make sure that it's on both, it's touching both. So right here, so you can see a negative and a positive. And you, even if you can't see it, you'll see it in real life when you get it. But so I have my little diagram out there, and everything is ready to go, and I'm seeing how this is going to lay down. Okay, so I place down my light. That's where my light is. And remember, we marked it on the paper. And then I'm going to take my battery pack, or my power pack, and I've drew that on the paper too, and then I'm just going to place that down. You don't even really need to draw it on your paper necessarily, just so you know where your copper starts and ends. I'm going to put some sticky back tape on it, and that's going to let it stay put on the paper. And you're just going to peel that up and place it down. Okay, so then when I did that and I hold it down, it works fine. The light works fine. But then if I let it go, it didn't. So my problem was, as I discovered, I was supposed to put the copper up over the silver thing, not underneath it. So now it makes sense, right? So I was like, what am I doing? That's all it was. That's as simple as it was. But this, herein lies the proof that my brain does not function when it comes to electronics. I know. I mean, please still be my friend. All right. So anyway, I figured out what the problem was, and here I'm taking some copper tape, and all I'm going to do is just put it over the silver part and then touch the copper tape with it. All right, so yay, fireworks for my success. So, all right, now all we have to do is assemble our card, which is the easiest part. I've got double foam tape on the back of, or on this part of the card, which is right on the bottom panel. And you just want to make sure that you don't put foam tape over it. And I had to get right over it, so sorry, my head was in the way. But I placed that down so my hole was right over the light. And now my hole is right over for the, what is that called? Lighthouse. And then I just put down my little crab so he can be peeking through behind our sandcastle. I thought that was cute. And then some glitter glue, art glitter glue for the back of the sand. I'm going to place that down. Everything is going to be laid flat because I have a double amount of foam tape underneath. I didn't need to bring up anything else. And then I'm going to put down my little flip-flops, and my flip-flops are going to be where the lights are. Turns out that there's 2 parts on the power pack that could light up your card. And so both of my flip-flops actually light up the card. So I thought that was cool. Now, I wanted to write press down the center of the flip-flop, but as I painfully discovered, P-R-E-S does not spell press, but that's all I could fit on the bottom of that shoe, which that hurt my heart. So I went to the other shoe and I wrote press across the top. And then I thought, well, I got to fix this. So I covered it with purple marker. And then after that, I die cut some little diamonds out of pink glitter cardstock. And I'm going to add those to kind of the, not the soles, but like the bottom of the flip-flops. And this way they look decorative. And so it covers up my boo-boo. So there we go. Yes, I am not without flaws, let me tell you, when I card make. I'm going to add my sentiment here to the top, and that is it for the card, right? How fun! So let me show you it in action here. And it's more fun when it's dark. So we'll dim the lights and show you the light. So that was so much fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for seeing my trials and tribulations. I contemplated leaving it, kind of cutting through that, but I thought in the end, if you're dealing with some of your electronic lights, you might actually find this was helpful to maybe troubleshoot your issues. So once again, thank you. Head over to Pear Blossom Press, grab up your power pack, awesome stuff, and you can make some really fun interactive cards. I'll list what I used below, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.